Okay, I'm going to show you how to do some of the homework problems on 4A. So the first one is question 1. So it says Brent has an entertainment night every Friday and spends $10 on a movie ticket, $6.25 on popcorn and a drink. He also fills his gas tank twice each month at a cost of approximately $49 per tank. So then we're going to assume there's just 4 Fridays in a month. So the first question says, what is Brent's annual entertainment expense? So to do this one, you're going to take your $10 and add it to your $6.25. So he's going to be spending $16.25 per week. So we're going to multiply that by 4, and that'll give us the amount per month. And then multiply that by 12, because there's 12 months in a year, and you'll get 780. For the next one, the annual gas expense, he spends $49 per tank and he fills up twice a month. So if we multiply that by 2, that'll give us our monthly amount. And then multiply that by 12 to give us the yearly amount. And you'll have 1,176. And then the last question says Brent's annual entertainment expense is what percent of his annual gas expense? So we're going to do 780 out of or over 1,176. So the first thing they give us goes on the top, and the second thing they give us goes on the bottom, and then divide that out, and you'll get about 0.66, but we need to write that as a percent. So if you multiply that by 100, that'll give us a percent, and it'll be 66%. Okay, for number 2, deals with insurance premium. So it lists all of Marin's information, and we need to find the monthly prorated expense for total insurance premiums. So we need to find the total that she pays annually, and then we're going to divide that by 12 to find out how much she'll pay per month. So the first one, the term life insurance, is $20 per quarter. So that would be 20 times 4. There's 4 quarters in a year. And then the medical insurance is $89 from her paycheck twice monthly. So that's going to be 89 times 2 for monthly. Then we're going to multiply that by 12. So remember, we're finding her total for the year, and then we'll divide everything we get here. We'll add all of that up, and then we'll divide by 12 to find the monthly. So car insurance is $375 every 6 months. So that means she'd pay it twice a year for the first 6 months and the second 6 months. And then the renter's insurance for apartment items is $375 per year. So we need to multiply all of these out and add them up. And when you do that, you should get 3,341. Remember, this is her annual amount. And then divide that by 12 to get the monthly amount. And then round to the nearest cent. So you should be getting $278.42. Okay, the next one is number 3. So we have a list of expenses here, and we know that the family net income is $48,000 per year. So if we divide this amount by 12, we can get the monthly amount, which is going to be $400. So their income is $400 per month. And we need to find the monthly cash flow. So the monthly cash flow is going to be the income, the monthly income, minus their expenses for that month. So we need to find out the total number of expenses. So we've got to go through and find the total, just like we did on the last one. We need to find the total annual expenses, and then we're going to divide that by 12. So the first one, we have $4,800 per year. So that one we want to multiply This next one, you're going to multiply that by 12 to get the total for the year. So if you do 900 times 12, you'll get 10,800. And the next one, 425 times 12, will give you 5,100. And then 190 times 12. So you'll need to go through this whole thing. 2,280. And then the groceries will have 650 times 12. That's also a monthly amount. And then semi-annually, that means twice a year. So take that number, multiply it by 2. You'll get 850. And then 220 times 12, because that one is per month. So 2,640. And then 25 per week, and it wants us to assume 52 weeks. So 1,300. And then 325 per month, multiply that one by 12. And then 100 per week, multiply that by 52. 5,200. Okay, so we have all of these amounts. So don't forget that 4,800. Then all the amounts we just calculated. So go through and add all of these up. So you get the idea. I'm not going to circle the rest of them, but go through and add all of those up to get the total. So I'm going to do that real quick. Then you should be getting 44,670. And if you divide that by 12, we get $3,722.50. And remember, the total monthly is 4,000. So go through and subtract that, and you should be getting $277.50. And as you go, make sure you're rounding to the nearest cent. Okay, for number 4, you're comparing two cars. You're comparing keeping an old car or buying a new car. So there's two scenarios. The first one gives you the information about the old car. So let's look at that first and find out the total cost for 3 years. And then we're going to round everything to the nearest dollar. So you currently own an older pickup that's paid for, so it gets 13 miles per gallon. And so at the top, we know we go 170 miles per week, and the average is $4.75 per gallon. So if we take the 170 and then divide that by 13 miles per gallon, we end up with 13.0769. So don't round this number right now, just keep that in your calculator. And then multiply that by 4.75, because the 13.0769 represents how many gallons. Then it's $4.75 per gallon. So we'll be spending about $62.11 per week. And again, don't round that answer. Keep that and then multiply that by 52, and you'll get 3,230. And then we're also going to be spending about $800 a year in maintenance. So add these two together, and we get 4,030. and then multiply that by 3 because we're looking at 3 years. So for the first car, or for the old car, that total is going to be $12,090. And you will not get this number if you're rounding as you go. So on this first one, that 13.0769, if you round it to 13 and then multiply it by 4.75, you're not going to get the final correct answer. So make sure as you're doing all the problems on this and in this class that you keep your answer in your calculator and you just keep working on that answer and you don't round until the very end. Okay, the next one, a newer car, so it's going to be $11,250 over 3-year loan process, and this one gets 42 miles per gallon. So let's do the same thing, but instead of dividing by 13, we're going to divide it by 42. So you take your 170 divided by 42, which will give us 4.0476. That's how many gallons a week. Then we're going to multiply that by 4.75. And we'll get 19.226. Then multiply that by 52. $999.76. Then it's going to be $15 a month. So we need to add that on also. So remember, this is the gas price, and then we need to multiply, or we need to figure out the $15 per month. So do 15 times 12. And we'll get 180. So add that 180, and you'll get 1,179. And again, don't round this. Multiply this by 3, and you'll get $3,539.28. Well, it goes 0.285 and it keeps going. And now we need to add on the total cost of the loan, which is $11,250. So add that and round to the nearest dollar. So we'll get 14,789. So make sure when you enter this into the Maple TA that you don't put commas. I know I put a comma on this first one, but do not put commas. It can't recognize those, so it'll mark it wrong. So let's say you accidentally put a comma in there. If you click the how did I do, you should be able to just hurry and take it out. But if it's not letting you, but you have the correct answer, go ahead and send me an email and I can go in and give you points for that problem if it's just because of the comma. Okay, for this last question, number 5, I'm not going to go through every single part of it. I'm just going to talk about overall what you would do. So you're comparing two plans, Plan A and Plan B. So you're going to have two different numbers. For the first one, for January, if we look at Plan A, it says you have one office visit and a $65 prescription. So if you look up, the copay is going to be $20 for that office visit. Oh, sorry, it's not letting me do both. So you're going to do $20 plus your $65 prescription. So we're not just adding 65. The prescription drugs are at 30%. So you're going to do 30% times 65. Let me see if I can do this over here. So for January, you'd have your $20 plus your 65, put this in parentheses, and then multiply by 30% because you're just going to be charged 30%. Then the next one, emergency room visit, you're charged $650. So you first have to pay $75 of that plus 10% of the rest. So 10% of your 650, and I'm going to be cut off here, minus